Welcome to Grandma from Pambila's YouTube channel. Today we're going to read the rest of the Marge in Charge story that we were up to. This is a story where Marge and Jemima and Jake are going to the party. Can you remember where they were up to? They'd blown up all the balloons. They'd used the wrapping paper to make hats, and they'd actually opened the present for the boy's birthday, which was a water pistol, and played with it with apple juice. Marge is a character. Once I got my feet tangled in 50 balloons and floated all the way to Wimbledon, Marge declares, popping her head out between the balloons. My hairdo was completely ruined in the wind and everyone saw my knickers. It was embarrassing. Jake grabs a purple balloon and sits on it like a whoopee cushion. Pop! We all giggle. Marge, I say, looking at the clock again, I think it's time to go. I hate being late. We leave the house with Archie dragging his dress behind him and an enormous cloud of rainbow balloons all bobbing and bumping into each other above our heads. I start to feel nervous again. I have brought a book with me just in case I get bored or lonely. Can you see? There they are with all the balloons heading off to the party. And look, Jemima's carrying her book. And there's the puppy dog coming behind, wearing his dress. Theo's party is under the big oak tree in the little park near our house. It has been decorated with streamers and a banner reading 5 years old today. There is a checkered tablecloth laid out over a wooden bench covered with cupcakes and sandwiches and a big pile of presents. Behind the bench is a giant bouncy castle. There's all the food, the giant bouncy castle. Looks like a fun party. Now, if there is one thing Jakey and I really love in the world, it is a bouncy castle. I wish my whole bedroom was a bouncy castle and that the bottom of my tennis shoes were made of bouncy castle too. All the boys are very happy to see Jakey and they say hi to us. I notice that a few of them have their big brothers or sisters there with them too. Josh's big sister Posy is here and Lucy Walker as well. I feel much better seeing other girls my age at the party. Everyone laughs when they see Archie in a dress, particularly Theo. Theo doesn't even mind when Archie manages to steal a peanut butter cupcake. Happy birthday, Theo! Marge, Jakey and I chorus as we hand over his present. Theo looks surprised by the yellow bow. Don't worry, Marge tells him, we tested the water pistol out for you. It's ready to use and it's filled up with apple juice. Thanks, says Theo, taking in Marge's height. Are you a child or a grown-up? He asks, which makes me laugh. Jakey explains very politely that Marge is actually a small grown-up, but that she is tall enough to ride a bike without training wheels, which is the only thing that really matters. Just as we take off our shoes to go into the bouncy castle, disaster strikes. The sky clouds over and it starts to rain. At first it's just the pitter-patter of little drops, but soon they turn into big fat blobs of water. Theo looks like he might cry. I would be really disappointed too if it were my birthday. Theo's mummy explains that we can't go into the bouncy castle when it's wet as it's too slippery and slidey. We don't want anyone bumping heads, she says. But Marge has the most brilliant idea. Marge to the rescue, she calls as she gathers all the balloons that we brought with us. There they are giving the present to Theo for his birthday. She ties them into a vast bundle so big and thick it makes a roof for the bouncy castle. No rain can get in at all. All the parents clap and cheer. I feel so proud that we brought Marge to the party and that she is our babysitter. Everyone on the bouncy castle, Theo's mummy shouts, and we all scramble up excitedly. Even Archie scampers up with us. His furry ears flap as he gets bounced up and down. What fun! Whenever I am on a bouncy castle, I imagine what it would be like to be a bird and to be able to fly. Jakey is jumping so high, his trousers keep slipping down. Can you see them all bouncing and all the balloons making the roof? After a while, our legs get tired and we sit down in the bouncy castle looking for something else to do, but it's still raining. So we can't run around in the park yet. Theo's mummy and daddy are looking anxious. All the party plans are going wrong. I am just about to ask everyone if they want to read me a chapter from my book, but then Marge jumps into the bouncy castle with another brilliant idea. By day, I am Magnificent Marge, masterful babysitter of Jemima and Jakey Button. But by night, I am Magical Marge, the magician. What is Marge up to, I wonder? We all crowd around Marge to see. I need a drum roll, she says dramatically. Theo's big sister Lucy is standing next to me and she claps her hands as loudly as she can. I join in and soon everyone is clapping. Marge twirls round and loses her balance on the grooves in the bouncy castle, her skinny legs buckling, but she recovers quickly. Theo's little brother Matthew tries not to giggle. You see them all? Then Marge does a loud fake cough, covering her mouth with her hand, and when she pulls it away there is a purple silk handkerchief. Abracadabra, she cries, looking very pleased with herself. Now this looks like an ordinary handkerchief, but look again. We peer closely at the purple handkerchief. There is nothing weird about it, but then Marge's nose begins to twitch and she emits an enormous sneeze. The birthday boy is unimpressed. Theo says, "You don't need to be a magician to sneeze." But Marge smiles mysteriously and blows into the handkerchief as if it were a balloon. Then she shakes the purple silk and lo and behold, out fly 20 pink lollipops. Pink, my favourite. There's Marge doing her magic and her scarf, and then out come all those lollipops. Everyone grabs one. Mine tastes of watermelon, which is my favourite flavour for lollipops, even though I don't like the actual fruit, says Jemima. Then Marge enlists the help of Archie as her magician's assistant. For her second trick, she pulls a peanut butter cupcake out of her hat and then eats it using no hands, with Archie helping by licking up the crumbs. How did you learn magic? Theo's friend Jack wants to know. Are you ready for a long story? Marge replies. We sit happily in a circle around Marge. Lucy sits next to me, which is nice, and we share a shy smile. One day, a magician called Eduardo Alberti appeared at the palace to do magic for the whole village. As he was preparing for his grand show, his assistant was trampled by a herd of pink flamingos. So he picked me and my twin sister Midge to be his assistants. Marge has a twin sister called Midge. I can't wait to meet her, thinks Jemima. What did you have to do? Asks Theo, his eyes as wide as saucers. Eduardo hid me in a box so you could only see my head and shoulders, and Midge in the other half of the box so you could only see her knees and legs. And then he sawed us in half. Oh! We all scream in unison. Show me how to do the tricks, begged Theo. As a member of the Magic Triangle, Marge says, I am unable because I am sworn to secrecy. Jakey and I can't believe it. Marge has led the most incredible and amazing life of any grown-up I know. Next up, she juggles 3 balloons. Well, she starts juggling with 5, but one floats away and another pops when Archie bites it. Now for my final trick, Marge says as she produces a deck of cards with a flourish. Suddenly, she throws them into the air and sings, "Cards, cards, cards fly up in the air, make the weather fine and fair. On this magical birthday, send the rain far away. We all scamper around, catching the cards as they fall around us. I reach high to catch the ace of hearts. Look, shouts Lucy. We stare up at the sky. Would you believe that it has completely stopped raining? I look at Jake's face. His eyes are bulging in disbelief. Is Marge a real magician? We scramble out of the castle and back into our socks and shoes. The boys all take off, stretching their little legs and hollering with joy. But now there seems to be another problem. Theo's father takes a phone call, then switches off his phone. He does not look happy. The face painter's car has broken down in the big puddle and he can't come, says Theo's dad. Marge doesn't need to be asked twice. Luckily, she announces gallantly, I was taught face painting by one of the princess's ladies in waiting, and I'm actually very good. That's all the cards flying in the air. She reaches into her bag and brings out some makeup and pens. We form a queue around the bouncy castle, waiting for our turn. I am a little hesitant to have Marge paint my face, as she once tried to use Mummy's brown hair dye as a face mask. We remember that from the last story. She draws white makeup and pink lipstick on Lucy's face. You are Mary Antoinette, the French Queen. Then she paints my eyes with black eyeliner, which tickles at the beginning, but then feels kind of nice, and my lips bright red. You are Cleopatra, she says. Marge transforms Theo and Jakey and Peter and Matthew and Daniel into warlords and Vikings and puts cat's whiskers on herself, Zach and Stella, but Posy doesn't want her face painted, so she just watches. Marge has really saved the day. See Marge painting everyone's face? Anyone there? Lucy and I wander away from the party and take turns on the swing. I show her my red tongue from the watermelon lollipop and she shows me hers and we giggle. Can you believe it that Lucy also has a little brother like me? She has also lost 5 teeth like me. And she also has a secret diary that not even her mummy knows about. We have so much in common. It's time for the party games. The first game is Pass the Parcel. My mummy always makes sure everyone gets a present when we play this game on my birthday or Jakey's birthday, but Marge doesn't seem to know the rules. When the parcel reaches her, she just passes it from her left hand to her right hand until the music stops. I win, she laughs, unwrapping a layer of paper. Marge, I scold her, you have to share the present. Sorry, says Marge guiltily, when I lived in the palace, the king always let me win. She hands the parcel along and Theo's little brother Matthew finally wins. After the games, Theo's mummy calls out, everyone sit down please. It's time to sing happy birthday to Theo and eat cake. We find a place to sit cross-legged in front of the picnic bench. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Theo, happy birthday to you. We all sing. Jakey's voice is the loudest as he hugs his best friend Theo, looking at Theo's big chocolate cake with 5 candles on it. I feel very hungry. Oh, did I show you the photo? Oh, there's not really a picture there. There's just mice eating cake. I sometimes wish when I see a big cake like that I could stick my whole face into it and gobble it all up. But I remember to sit nicely as I lick my lips and wait patiently. Just as the cake is placed in front of Theo and he draws in a big gulp of air to blow out the candles, Marge pops her head up and blows them out first. Oh no, I think. Silence. Everyone stops singing happy birthday. No one has ever blown out the candles before except the birthday person. What bad manners. Theo looks like he might be about to cry, but suddenly the 5 candles relight themselves and we all gasp. Candles relighting by themselves? What happened? Asked Theo. He looks very confused. It's because you are a secret magician, Marge tells Theo. But I have never been a magician before, says Theo. I made the wish for you, Marge explains. When I blew out the candles, that's my birthday present for you. A candle wishes always comes true. There's Marge blowing out the candles. Theo gives a big puff and blows out the flames. Whoopee! Theo looks very happy, as though being a magician might be the best birthday present ever. Everyone claps and cheers, and all the grown-ups take photos on their phone. How did you do that, Marge? I whispered. It's just a trick, Marge winks. A trick that I can't reveal unless you are a member of the Magic Square. Which I am, says Marge. I think it's called the Magic Circle, corrects Josh. Possibly, concedes Marge. Secretly, I make a wish that Marge will always be our babysitter. After this, we all get stuck into the food, and Marge says that the children are allowed 9 slices of cake each. But after the sandwiches and the crisps and the fruit salad and the sweets and the nuts and the popcorn, I am too full to eat more than 3 slices of birthday cake. And Jake only manages one very big one. Marge reaches into her bag and pulls out her gold paper crown that we made earlier. Can you see there's Jemima and Jake and Theo and Marge with her crown on? Everyone seems to have cake or plates. So no one throws cake at me, she whispers to Lucy with her crown on. And we laugh. I am going to nap before the cake fight starts, Marge yawns. You know, Countess LaRue was able to marry off her 2 daughters by teaching them magic. Our babysitter warbles as she curls up with Archie, and there she lies, her feet poking out from behind the bouncy castle. Her gold crown is lopsided and her face paint is smeared, but she is sound asleep. Lucy and I decide she looks adorable. Shh, says Lucy. She needs her sleep after all that work. How old do you think Marge is? Jake thinks that she is 151. I whisper, and then we head over to where the other kids are playing. I have a fantastic time playing with Theo, Jakey and Lucy. We play follow the leader with me and Lucy at the front and all the younger children following until we arrive at the swings. Then Jake and Theo take turns pushing all of us back and forth. Honk, honk! I can hear Daddy's horn. I look over and see Mummy and Daddy getting out of the car. Buongiorno, I say as I run and give them a hug. They look exhausted from their long drive. How was the party? Asks Daddy. I made a new friend called Lucy, I tell Mummy. That's great, Jemima. Well done, says Mummy. It was the best party ever, says Jakey. We all thank Theo and his parents for a wonderful time. And when Marge reappears with her hair tucked away and looking very sensible, they thank her for saving the day. I can't believe that Jakey wore a hat, Daddy says when he hears about Jake's paper crown. Then Mummy notices Archie. Is that your party dress, Jemima? She asks. Yes, Archie needed to be properly dressed to be a magician's assistant, Marge explains. Mummy and Daddy exchange a confused look. What a clever puppy putting it on all by himself. Amazing paw control, Daddy jokes. He's the real Harry Houdini, says Jake proudly, and we all laugh and laugh. And that is the end of today's story with Marge. The next one is called Marge at Large in the School. That will be interesting. I don't know if I've heard that one before. I can't wait to read that to you maybe tomorrow. Thank you for watching Grandma's YouTube. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will do another story soon. I love you so much. Bye.